Ludwig hosted a giant speedrun event and asked me to make my own little segment for it. I decided to create a 10-level superworld to test 4 incredibly talented gamers, like Void, Point Crow, Doug, and even Ludwig himself. However, the biggest challenge for me was trying to figure out just how hard am I allowed to make this? Of course, I could make it infuriatingly difficult, but it wouldn't be much of a race then, you know? I spent a good amount of time limit testing other friends who were around the expected skill level of the players, and then decided to make some parts easier as a result and even scrap some levels entirely. So, to truly grasp on where the skill level was going to be, I decided to start the competition with a singular shell jump. No, like literally a full level that requires one singular shell jump to complete. Admittedly, a max height shell jump, but I could have required 2.
Do you have to jump to get this?
Me so
yes. Yeah. Wait.
He got
a jump.
Kicked another shell.
Oh my God.
That's close.
The mushroom pipe is... There's a firework effect. Hooray!
Did you know that in tennis, if you yell while hitting the ball, you get 25% more power? That is real. That is real. All right, so check this out.
Yeah, so 3 minutes later, and not a single person has beat this seemingly impossible level. Keep in mind, there are 9 other levels after this, so whoever can figure out the shell jump first is definitely going to have a massive lead over the competition.
Yes!
He made it. He's actually insane.
And out of these 4 runners, Doug is the only one I've ever actually seen play Mario Maker. Like, it was possible for the entire race to just have been decided there. But fortunately for competition, Ludwig pulled through about a minute later and left the other 2 runners stuck in a singular shell jump shaped purgatory. The next level was called Acrobatics, and it tests a combination of spin jumps and damage boosting. My initial design for this one was a lot meaner, like perhaps certifiably sociopathic, but thanks to my kind changes, Doug got to move on while Ludwig struggled to perform a singular spin jump. 7 minutes into the competition, and yeah, the other 2 are still struggling, but now let's talk about level 3 quick time event. The first thing most people would do is hold forward, but that's wrong, since the objective of this level was to emulate those dangerous auto levels where the only solution is to do absolutely nothing. Of course, I left a speedrun path in it for everyone else, by that I mean little curbs, and the gimmick of this one really came down to seeing if Doug remembered the name of the level.
I would like to remind you this is called quick time event.
Yeah.
Oh, he missed it.
But like,
He missed the quick time event.
Oh no, Doug!
Up and then jump. Yeah, see that?
I'm gonna go
and then
get
you
a
jump.
coffee.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Again, I really had no idea how skilled any of these players were going to be, so I left alternate paths that allowed people to skip some of the more difficult levels. And that put Doug on the first world's final level, Ludwig's Inflation Castle. You know, like the Koopa, Ludwig von Koopa. It's not weird, I promise. Just don't Google it, please. I think this level is admittedly a bit mean, but I genuinely think using the P-Balloon to create bullet hells in tandem with Ludwig is one of the coolest features you can do in this game. Testing this one was a bit difficult since the line between fair and utter chaos felt shockingly thin, so eventually I settled on making it a short and sweet loop of collecting 5 red coins that opened the door to the easiest boss fight ever created, which again was initially way worse. Believe it or not, after Doug cleared the first castle, Void officially popped his shell jump chariot and locked in at 10 minutes, with Point Crow finally freeing himself nearly 3 more minutes later. That's right, 13 minutes to clear a singular shell jump. And the worst part is both of the shell jump survivors have caught up to Ludwig. And like, I know Doug is dominating here, but trust me, somehow this race is still close in the end. However, this first split path in World 2 features one level that's a bit hard and one that might be the hardest in the whole game. And Doug chose the second option. This was the first level I ever made for this event, and if I can be honest, I kind of forgot to go back and make it easier, so oops. The goal is to dash through this cramped labyrinth and preserve your super mushroom for the end so you can break the final blocks. I do think that if I were to have made this level later, it would have simply ended right here. But instead, there is an entire second half to the already difficult level that's a bit harder. So let's zoom out a bit. Yeah, everyone else is still stuck on the second level. I did have mercy at one part by generously giving the player a spare mushroom in case they lose it before the spike room, but that was only one half of the puzzle.
No, he fell for it. No. He fell for it.
Don't respawn, by the way.
That's not gonna work. You can't run Fate back, my friend.
You've made your choice. Now live with it. Oh, that was rather foolish.
Since breaking these 2 blocks prevents you from finishing the level entirely and forces Luigi to unalive himself for a second chance, and God, this race is really not close at all, is it? So, in hopes of slowing the lead down, I created an awful level that really embodies the absolute worst Mario Maker has to offer. A troll level. First death, invisible coin block. Second, falling swamp. Third, another invisible coin block. And fourth, I'm pretty proud of this one because through sheer panic, Doug went back through the door.
He might need to do the shell jump again.
Watch this funny troll on Doug.
Oh, XD. Omega laugh. I can't.
Then Ludwig beat the second level and finally made it to quick time event. And history repeats.
Come on. Oh, does he miss it though? Does he miss it?
He's gonna miss it.
Oh, he missed the quick time event. Oh. You hold A, yeah.
My God, I know what happens, and I can't even believe that this race evens out soon. But sure enough, quick time event claimed yet another victim. And honestly, these 2 just stay stuck on the level for the next 20 minutes. They're kind of out of the race. I know Doug is seemingly taking this tourney as his own, but it's wise to not count out Ludwig so easily, as overconfidence can be a slow and insidious killer. Because now, Doug stands face to face with the final level of the entire game. And instead of taking his 20-minute victory, he instead backs out and tries to play the optional levels he skipped as Ludwig attempts Ludwig's Inflation Castle. And in case you're wondering, yeah, Void and Point Crow are still stuck on the second level. To my complete surprise though, during the same amount of time it took Doug to finish the optional Kaizo Flappy Bird level, well, okay, that sounded like something was happening, like Ludwig was getting close, but he was still stuck on the castle, the inflation one. But by the time Doug finished the other optional level titled Optional Level, Ludwig was still stuck on the Inflation Castle. Yeah. So, of course, when presented with the freest win of his entire life, Doug had a decision to make. Did he want to be a winner, or did he want to try and attempt some other super expert level made by an entirely random person? And for some reason, it was the second choice. At one point, he even gets stuck and turns around to earnestly ask me for help on what he's supposed to do.
Hey, there's split pass. If you don't like this level, you can try something else.
You gotta.
Oh!
Like, this wasn't a bit. He got so lost in the sauce that he forgot I didn't even make this level. At least Void is starting to make progress, but he did choose wrong on the split path. And for the first time in this challenge, all 4 players are on 4 different levels, and I only made 3 of them. But now, Ludwig has made it to World 2, and Doug is nowhere to be seen.
You can do new game.
See. It is.
Wait, Doug, you can laugh him.
You can laugh it, yeah.
Okay,
That's how you get the true ending. You need the true ending.
yeah, you're screwed. Never mind.
So from like a show perspective, do we need this to wrap up, or can I lap
I
everybody?
think you need to lap
How
everyone.
we feeling, everybody? All right.
Let's go!
Oh my God! Beat level 2!
Guys, I didn't realize Void has been on quick time event for 30 minutes. What is happening? He likes to hit buttons too much.
Okay, let's see if Doug can do another shell jump.
If somebody tunes
Let's
in
go,
right
boy.
now, they're gonna think I'm so bad.
Let's go, boy.
You jumped over the flag. Oh my God!
So, to catch you up, Void is somehow stuck in quick time event, Point Crow just beat his second level of Mario Maker ever, and Ludwig is attempting the final few levels while Doug races to catch up with him. Sure enough, Void pulls through, and Point Crow secures the 4 out of 4 fail rate.
Okay, so Eric, you gotta
Keep
jump over
going.
that.
Ooh, thank you, Joe.
Yeah,
Good
I got
point.
it.
And against all odds, our 2 frontrunners are tied. Wait, no, strike that. Somehow our 3 frontrunners are tied. How? I cannot explain how close this race suddenly became because Lud and Doug started moving at the exact same speeds. But of course, before Ludwig could complete it, Doug finished not 1, but 2 levels and got to attempt the Fast 50 finale, a classic fight against Bowser. And if you're curious, this is what the level looks like on my end. And the only way to beat it is by either killing him through timing when you hit the invisible blocks or by blatantly cheating. Of course, the answer might not be as obvious to the common person, which gave Ludwig and theoretically everyone else enough time to catch up. As stated earlier, Doug was by far the most skilled and confident player, but given that he couldn't figure out this escape room of a final level, Ludwig got to close the gap, and then he moved on to the troll level, which somehow he beat way faster than Doug on any of his attempts. So here we are, at the very end of the race, with 2 players struggling to solve the puzzle of this behemoth that stood before them. One tried to build a maze, one would try to run, but none of these options worked given how limited time you had to act on this level.
There's no hit. Why would you not put a block there? Why is that the one place you don't have a block?
I'm in a deep darkness right now.
Wait!
Oh, Ludwig figured it out.
Wait, Bowser's dead.
Oh my God.
Oh, wait.
Oh my God.
He ran out of
Oh my God.
Fast 50, baby. No, Ludwig figured it out though.
My God.
He doesn't even know. You punched him. You punched him.
Yeah, he did it. He
Hit the
solved it.
punch button.
And through sheer luck, Ludwig killed Bowser entirely on accident and finished the level first. However, the race wasn't over quite yet, as I still had one secret level at the end required by all players to complete. It wasn't supposed to be a hard level by any means, but since this was a charity event, I thought it would be nice to include a cute, fun level at the end that would incentivize donations. But when Ludwig put his hands in the air to prematurely celebrate his win,
Oh my God.
It's as easy as that. Doug gets to call it in.
Why did he do that? Why did he do that?
Yo, Doug might clutch this.
I know most competitions would call this illegal, but technically, we did not have a rule against this. And by the time he got to simply boot the game up again, Doug has already conquered the boss and celebrated his way through a final level while keeping both hands on the controller, thus earning a completely unearned win that he shouldn't have even lost in the first place. So, what's the moral of the story here? I guess there's not one.